ICSU, let me start with giving you the mission of ICSU. And the whole idea this would be, we're looking at how to strengthen the international science by mobilizing knowledge. Okay, and this knowledge is the international knowledge about resources and also the scientific community, so that for the benefits of the society. And we have a very big board of international ICSU. We report to one of them, and our union is called the International Union for Theoretical Applied Mechanics. Okay, it's IUTEM. Okay. Now within this IUTEM, the structure is very, very complex also. We have about 60 or more national committees, and my committee is the U.S. National Committee for Theoretical Applied Mechanics. Okay. So we report to this IUTEM. Every 2 years we have a meeting. Okay. And the meeting basically talk about what is the future direction, what are the research direction, what the education, how we're going to do outreach. And in particular, I think the focus a lot more how to bring younger people, into the field. Okay. Now, the decisions made by a couple of boards. One of them, the highest level, is called the Bureau. And then the next one is the General Assembly. Okay. For the US, we have 5 members. Okay. And we go there every 2 years, and we rotate around the Earth. And we also have some missions. Okay. So the way we do it will be, we think about education. So the way we do education would be, we talk about seminars, workshops, conferences. The major conferences is called the ICTEM, we call it, okay, International Congress for Theoretical Applied Mechanics. This is every 4 years, and all the members, in particular, we fund money for the students to go to attend this Congress. And for this particular meeting, it will be in Montreal in August, in this case. Okay. I think that is just give you a very basic structure of this IUTEM and ICSU. Again, will be through the International Union, okay, and we have meetings, and the whole goal here would be, I'm going to summarize another slide, okay, and actually this slide is made beautifully by the BISO board, and I really love this one here. So under this slide here, on the one side, we have something called unions or national committees. And our committee is called Fluid and Solid Mechanics. Now, let me give a little bit of history on this one. This committee started in the 40s, so we talk about almost 80 years. At that time, solid and fluid mechanics are the emperors. We dominate basically because of the space. We talk about airplanes, space shuttles, and so forth. And that's where the fluid mechanics come into the picture. And basically, you talk about fluid dynamics, how to drive the plane, fly faster, safer. And solid mechanics is related to how the structure looks like. So can it stand that kind of forces? Okay. So that's the reason why we still call fluid and solid mechanics, but to layman it's pretty hard to explain. Okay. In fact, we do a lot more than that. We have 15 societies. Okay, we have American Society of Mechanical Engineering, Civil Engineering, Aeronautic, Chemical Engineering, and so forth, 15 societies. So in fact, we will talk about name change. We talk about mechanics in life and earth sciences. I think they represent us much better in the long term. Now, how does it work? Okay, so basically it would be, we report to this particular, IUTEM, and our goal here would be to foster future generation of scientists and engineers. Okay, that's one we want to do. Of course, we support research. Okay, and supporting research is so important because research will give you, basically would be what directions, okay, how we're going to educate our future generation. In particular, would be how to use this research to dictate policy about fundings, education, and so forth. Now, and then we also have awards within this committee. We actually pretty lucky that we have Elsevier give us 25,000, award money. Basically, we give you the best, so-called younger generation scientists. So every year we have one award only, and that's given in the IUTM. In this case, $25,000 on it. And we also talk a little about standards. Okay, so I started a conference called Additive Manufacturing. People know it's called 3D printing. Okay, and because of the workshop, and we actually have the NIST, which is National Institute of Technology and Standard. Okay, they set up a benchmark idea. So with a group of people from all over the world working on how can we make this technology usable in the future. So we actually cover a little bit on the benchmark. In terms of how we can get our people involved, okay, we talk about one important thing is young investigator program. So we do a lot of work with different funding agencies to find funding for the young investigators. We do not do too much policy, which is something that I like to see, would be how we can get involved. And now I think I know a little more about BISO, so I will go back and talk a little about that part there. Oh, tremendously, tremendously. If you really look at engineering science, the number of, say women, and we don't have diversity, okay? And people are scared about mathematics, science, engineering, technology. And I think this is something that I think our committee, should really focus a lot more on how to bring young generation into the system. A lot of universities have done something good. I'll give you one example. My daughter, when she went to Stanford, and she talked to me and said, "Can you buy me a ticket to go to Stanford for 1 month?" I said, "For what?" They give us a program that they say they will give us a 1 month introduction of science and engineering. And they basically invite Nobel laureates, the best teacher, to introduce them to science, mathematics, and engineering. It's a fantastic program. I think we should do a lot more about this to attract women and a diverse group of workforce. And remember though, the world is changing, in particular in the US. We have a very diverse workforce, and they're not well equipped. They're not well equipped for the future. I think this is what our committee like to do. Not easy, extremely tough, because the scientists are so focused on what their strength is, their own research. And I think we need to start from a little bit more, earlier, I would say would be, for example, we have some idea would be in our National Congress or the International Congress, which is not easy to do. Have a particular session, bring in prominent people to explain what science is, what we are doing, and how exciting it is. We can bring in high school kids, not necessarily from the top high school kids, okay, into the picture, so they can hear about it, okay. And same thing for undergraduate to graduate level. We have another group of good speakers to invite them to let them to listen. I think this is not easy to do because limited funding, okay? And at the same time, we are talking about a very short time frame for a Congress. But if you can break it down into national and international Congress, I think we can do a lot better education in this case.